What's up, people? You are listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, and this is Stomp and Stroll Radio, where every Thursday, 2 to 3, I bring you usually the best ska, punk, and rock and roll. We got something cool today. I'm excited. I'm your host, Tara, and right now we have live all the way from the West Coast, the best coast. We get this. I'm gonna get my my announcer voice on to see if I could get this right.
Sure.
Right?
A grand introduction.
Grand introduction. I mean, I'm no Link to the Future, but I think I could pull it off. 1/3 of caution with Anton Voorhees and Ian. Yeah, I can't say his name. I already botched it. And enhancement.
There it is.
Lost the first match in Hoodslam history versus Juice Lee. Original best athlete of the East Bay champion is voted by East Bay Express in 2012. Former Intergalactic Tag Team Champion. Former Golden Gate Champion. Battle Royal of Supremacy 2011 winner. The chosen defender of Earthrealm. The Master Mold. The Mother Brain. Dark Sheik is in the building.
Wow, I loved that. That was amazing. Very well done.
Thank you.
Energy going forward. Like, we've set the bar so high. And now
now it's all downhill from here. But if you don't know, and you should know, Dark Sheik is one of the most amazing indie wrestlers on the face of the earth. She works out of Hoodslam all the way in the West Coast, which is a killer promotion. Go check their stuff out. It's all
Thank you.
I can't tell people to check your stuff out because the FCC doesn't like that. So I'm just going to say that they are on Twitch and they are on YouTube, and it would be cool if you happen to go look at it.
Yeah, if you put our name in a something search, we'll pop up.
Yeah. We can't tell you to because then the FCC won't let us be. But
don't. In fact,
I won't tell you.
Stuff. Don't follow me.
Yeah. But it is there if you want to look. If curiosity moved you, it's there. But it's awesome to have you here. Thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you so much for having me. This is a real treat. I don't get to do a lot of radio across the country. I'm pretty excited about it.
Nice. So the last thing on the docket before the whole world had to pump its brakes was Entertainia X, which was supposed to be on April 18th, and you were going to throw down against Juice Lee, who, as I shouted in the beginning, was your opponent for the very first match in Hoodslam's history. Like, you guys literally set the bar for the rest of the promotion. And first off, the way that you dropped that out there was this amazing promo we were talking about a little bit before we went on, where you talked about, like, you said closing the circle, like closing the spell between you two and all, how important that would be. What was it like going in and, like, having to, not only in terms of, like, in character, but, like, kind of let people know that this was what was happening? What was it like cutting that promo and saying that stuff on tape?
It was very intense because a lot of what I'm feeling is real. Of course, we're doing characters and it's a show, but that was the first match from 10 years ago. And at the first Entertainia, our big, like, anniversary show, I also fought Juice Lee and lost in the main event. So I knew if we came to 10 years, we would fight again. But I wasn't really sure what would ever happen. And I didn't want to do it before then. So now here we were on this cusp of, like, this magical thing that's finally happening. It was like seeing a unicorn, but then I didn't really get to. It got away from me. So doing the promo, that little video, is real feelings and real emotion. And I feel better about it now, but at the time I felt incomplete. I think kind of with doing that, I feel at least a stopgap. And I feel more completion, but this stuff's hard. A lot of people are out of work. A lot of people are, like, people like me are just, like, losing their fulfillment and the plans we had, which I'm sure is everyone. So it's tough, but it was exciting. I'm really happy to get it out because there's so much of what we're doing lately is a lot of comedy, but I like to show the range. To pull
she has the
positive out
range.
of it. Yeah.
Uh, that that's something I think is cool to bring up because a lot of people that are more like casual fans, they kind of see like you mentioned in the video WWE and AEW doing closed set shows, which is dope and a half. But
Yeah,
I think sometimes people don't realize that there is an entire industry outside of that is now just like, what are we gonna do now that this has happened?
absolutely. Yeah, it's really like a shock to your core because it's like I am what I do, but if I'm not doing anymore, am I still that? So I think it can be really uh, it can bring up a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you said you feel a little bit better about it now, though? How what if you don't mind me asking, what changed?
Putting that out, it's kind of like taking all these feelings from inside and putting them outside of me, and I can observe them from an objective perspective. Whereas before, it's just like I always use the phrase of being in the eye of the hurricane, and you can't always see what's outside of it. All you can see is what's swirling immediately around you. Um, so that helped me kind of emotionally, and just as people responded to it, it wasn't just about me in this match. It was about really all of wrestling and all the wrestlers. We're not just, I mean, I think actors too, but it's not like, oh, I don't have a job tomorrow. I guess I don't act. It's like a part of you is cut off from yourself.
Right.
You can't access it like you used to. And that, again, it brings up questions. But this brought me closer to that and brought me, I think the people around me or the people observing, it brought them back into this circle. A lot of vague descriptions here, but you can
No, you're
follow.
good. You're good.
Okay. Thank you.
More than good. Because like I kind of, and I'm not doing this as my career yet, but I kind of get the feeling like when especially when the news first came down, like, okay, you're not going back to school, like you're not, studios locked up, everything is like, any interviews and whatever, any plans and stuff that we had, like, nope, not happening. So it's just, God, shut up, phone, Jesus, I'm trying to talk to Dark Sheik. Anyway, um like it's just, it kind of throws you into this thing of like, the stuff that I love doing is now, it feels like it's taken away. So like you start questioning like, what am I, what do I do?
Yeah. Well, what's lovely about that though is that at first it's tricky, but on the other end, there's something beautiful, and you're like, okay, I do this now. So you
Yeah.
get space for things you always wanted to do, but you were so driven maybe by your passion that it had to be put to the side. So I'm trying to let myself know that aside from the suffering and the disease in the world, this is actually maybe a good time for me to heal mentally as well as physically and to branch out into other projects I couldn't, I do a show every Friday producing, and I'm out of town Saturday and Sunday. So now being home, I'm like, oh, I can paint. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah. All right, so wait, the thing you're referring to, is that the stuff that's been going up on the Hoodslam YouTube?
Some of that, like at first it was just, we're used to doing a weekly show. So let's keep putting stuff out weekly. And we did that for over a month. But now I have a focus, a different artistic direction for what we're going to do there. And it's coming soon. It takes a little bit longer to edit.
Yeah.
But I hope people enjoy it. And if they don't, I'll at least enjoy like the process of going through it.
100%. I do have to ask, when now with this added layer of waiting and um time, when the match with Juice Lee finally goes down, how is that going to feel? How intense is that going to be?
I mean, I'm already nervous about it because this is the longest break I've ever had from wrestling. Um, in like 15 years, I've never gone this long without having a match, including when I was like horribly injured and took time off. So now I'm just, I'm also getting, I guess, older, maybe not, but time is ticking against me. And now I'm also not keeping up. So I'm falling back at twice the pace I used to. While Juice Lee is, just, I'm sure he's doing CrossFit right now or something ridiculous. So it's
he
intimidating,
Yeah, it's
but
yeah.
it's everything. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if I can do another match until I do that match.
Right. Like that's kind of like the way to kick the door back in, I feel like.
It's what matters to me. To do anything less is I don't know, unworthy of my attention at this time.
Gotcha. What I think is really cool, and you alluded to a little bit, is the video stuff that you've been doing, and kind of riffing on what's happening in the world a little bit, and using it to be really entertaining and cool.
Thank you.
But to that end, I have two hardline news questions that I have to ask. Very serious, very like hardline journalism questions, which are: number one, is the farmer look ever coming back? And number two, how is Ekins doing?
Ekins is doing lovely. I put them back next to Coughing and Jigglypuff when they're having a ball. Um, yeah, the farmer look is not going away. The farmer chic shirt, like I pulled that from some deep recess of my closet that someone gave to me once, and I was like, "This is amazing. I'm wearing this from now on." I've always had that. I had this like America rhinestone hat. I also have a Jesus Loves Me hat, or maybe it's I Love Jesus. I have no idea when or where I got them. I think they're both amazing. And I'll be sporting that in the flannel crop top as much as I can. I might add some cutoff jeans as the summer goes forward. So farmer chic is, it's a thing. It's not going away.
It's happening
Yeah, yeah.
fully.
It's here. It's arrived.
If nothing else, just to take off Boone, because that was awesome.
Oh, sweet Boone. Yeah. What a card. What a real cutout that character is.
My favorite line from that was, I think, "I can't take you seriously since you started dressing like the Undertaker."
Which is true. But then he's like, this is the exact same jacket I wore around you before. And I was like, oh my God, it is. Like in the moment of the video, I'm like, it is the same jacket. I had no idea. It's different to me. He's so serious now and like whispery.
And contemplative.
Yeah, I don't like it.
No, it's different. But the cool thing is, like, about doing stuff like that in videos, like, I feel like it keeps people like involved, and it's really like, I feel like people are responding well to it. What is it like from your end, like changing gears to work on videos, like as a creative mind?
I mean, I love the live show and the audience, and like a lot of the people there are legitimately my friends, and I miss them. But I've always considered that where wrestling is kind of landing now and what you're seeing on TV and a little bit of what I'm doing as well is where it's been intended to go. It's always been meant to evolve past what it was. And I don't think it'll ever like go away from the live audience, but there's a much more cinematic approach to the storytelling because that's all it is storytelling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now we're doing videos. I'm a farmer or like whatever it might be, less physical contact, or in my case, none. I can help it. There's still story and character, so it's still to me wrestling. Yeah, I think this is the evolution of things. So it's forced our hand, but I guess that's what evolution is. It's not at your own pace. It's the survival of the fittest. So
Right.
I can adapt to that, and I'm having fun with it so far.
Cool. And I'm glad you kind of brought up
there. I'm sorry.
What's up?
I got real Apocalypse from X-Men there on you. I apologize.
Nah, you're fine. And so is Apocalypse from X-Men, so you're fine. I think it's cool that you dropped the word cinematic, because earlier this year that word was like going all over the wrestling community with the Boneyard match.
Yeah.
So I think I think you're, both the indie scene and then a step after them, the I almost want to call them major label, but like the the bigger companies are also kind of coming toward the same like conclusion of that.
Yeah. Well, there's us and there's the show. That's how I put it. But
The show.
Yeah, I think the Boneyard match was kind of like treading water. I think the thing they did the next night with Wyatt or the Fiend, like that was some next level psychological thing. And not everyone liked it, but I think that that's where things are going to go. You're going to see more thought-provoking and sometimes polarizing forms of entertainment through wrestling, storytelling, I should say. I love it. I think it's great. I love the crowds. I'll never get over that because it's literally something I can, take energy from and bring it down and breathe it in, and you can't replace that feeling.
I've seen you take other things from the crowd before a match, but we can't say that on it.
Look, they hand me stuff and I take it. Sometimes they put stuff in my pants. Sometimes it's in a cup. Sometimes it's in a leaf. It's all delicious, and I'll take it.
Leaf. That's the
Yeah.
best way to put it. So FCC doesn't get mad at us. Leaf.
I'm in California, so the laws maybe are different, but I'm going to play the game.
Got you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I don't get angry letters from Ajit Pai and his Reese's peanut butter cups telling me what I did wrong. Um, it
Reese's
is.
are delicious.
They are, but they are.
It's my insight.
Yes. It's a good takeaway. Especially when Leaf is involved, but can't talk about that. In that promo that you talked the video you talked about Stoner U a little bit, which is a wrestling school that works with Hoodslam a lot.
Yes.
As some of the same people involved back and forth. You said they might have some stuff coming down the pipe. Is that something that you're working with?
What they're doing there, I mean, I'm a part of Stoner U, but I don't feel like it's affiliated with Hoodslam. It's its own thing, for personal and also legal reasons. But I've been involved there. I think like it's a lot of my equipment still at the same time, and I think that they've been doing some matches in minor training, like in a very small, tight group. It's almost like a little commune that we have going, and we could be doing closed arena shows right now every week. You'd see the same 7 people wrestle every week, but it's something we could be actively participating in. But personally, I don't think that's the way to go. I think that they have been filming matches, or I've seen them on like Facebook Live on Thursdays, just like, here it is. I support it. I don't think you're going to see me participating directly like that.
Gotcha. Something that I saw that a bunch of wrestlers have been doing. I've seen you do it. I saw Effie did it, which is cool.
Anything Effie does is cool. It's just immediately it's on that side of.
Oh yeah, and being able to go up to your friends and be like, "Yo, do you want to watch the Twink Gauntlet with me?" Like, that's awesome.
Yeah. Effie doesn't do things that aren't cool.
He doesn't do that. He's like the gay Orange Cassidy. Like,
I don't know Orange Cassidy that well. Maybe he's the also gay Orange Cassidy for all I know.
Maybe.
Effie deserves their own platform, like, because there's what we're all doing, or at least what the industry does. Maybe I'm aside too. And there's Effie, and Effie is on their own wavelength, and I admire them to a unspeakable degree. And I think you were going to mention that they're doing Twitch gaming now. Yeah, they've dove all the way in, and I recommend going. Well, I don't recommend anything, but I think that what they're doing is very admirable, and I also do some gaming here and there too. And, I mean, there's a great cross section between nerddom and pro wrestling, and you're going to see more and more of that, I think, as time goes on.
Right, that's kind of what I wanted to pick your brain about. Also, I'm not again, we can't tell you to do anything, but there is a Twitch account called Effie Lives, and there is a Hoodslam Twitch account that exists.
Yeah. Again, don't follow it. Don't go.
No, don't go. You should probably avoid them. They're bad for your health. But
there's gonna be more of this.
Yeah, and what's what is your Twitch account for people to not look into?
I don't know. I'm Dark Sheik, and that's a name I use.
That is a name that exists.
Yes.
But I kind of wanted to pick your brain about that. Like, how's it been switching over to Twitch, like getting involved in Twitch, and like you said, that awesome intersection of nerddom and wrestling? How's it going so far?
I mean, I don't know if I've really been able to dive into an extent I would like to yet, but we were one of the first wrestling Twitch partners, Hoodslam. Like, they invited me to their San Francisco office and did a tour. It's like every TV show you've seen where like people are on scooters and they have dog beds by their desk, and it's like most of these people, like, to me, look like they're 16 or 12, and I'm walking around and I'm like, I've never been the oldest person in the room before. This is interesting. It was lovely, but of course they kind of like, I didn't know this at the time. They also had been talking to like 100 other promotions in the area, or not the area, in the country, and beyond. I think it's great that wrestlers, we play video games. I read comics like crazy, and this has always been a thing that I've enjoyed, and this platform is a great way for that cross section to be visualized and realized. So I don't know if I've done it as well as other people or even as consistently, but I'm still playing games every day.
What's on the list? What are your favorite games?
My favorite games include Ninja Gaiden, on NES, and other classics, the Street Fighters. What I'm playing now is, for some reason, Catherine again. I've been playing. I'm always playing some fighting game like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 or 3, or just not Infinite. Mortal Kombat has come back up recently. I just got I pulled out my Sega and played Streets of Rage 2 the other day, so I can prepare for the Streets of Rage 4 that I've already paid for. I'm all over the place. You can't put me in a box or a genre as far as my tastes. A little bit of everything.
That's awesome. I mean,
Thank you.
I shouldn't have even had to ask because you have a guy that calls himself Link to the Future in your promotion. So that's like
Yeah,
there's a giveaway, but
all of my stuff is. He used to wrestle as Link, and he has all of like the jar with Navi, the different suits. Like if he wants to fight someone who does fire, he's got the red suit. If he's doing a water match, he'll put on the blue tunic.
that's
All the
awesome.
props. Every match used to pull out the treasure chest and it would play the music over the PA, and he'd open it up, pull out an item for like a weapon to wrestle with.
There's like a kendo stick comes out.
Yeah, yeah, amazing stuff. Or one time a scorpion mask, and he put it on and started throwing harpoons. That was actually Ian. And if you need it, if you notice me, like everything I do is, very X-Men related. The Master Mold, the Mother Brain. I've changed my Twitter location to Krakoa because I'm a huge nerd, and that's we're gonna keep doing that. It's not going away.
Good. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I was dressed like Carmen Sandiego recently for something we filmed. It's not going away. I still have my costume.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That is amazing. Um, I mean, this is like usually this is a music show, so I feel like I'd be remiss in my duties if I didn't ask what's on Dark Sheik's playlist. What have you been listening to?
I'm again all over the place. So one day it'll be like not one day within a playlist you'll hear like the Platters, and then you'll jump to like Outcast, and then there'll be like some old ECW entrance music. I like Just Incredible a lot. Snap your fingers, snap your neck. Um, I'm
ECW entrance music. That's
yeah,
awesome.
I'm a fan of the times. I really like Christian's old theme, Just Close Your Eyes. Like I'm just playing all this weird stuff. I'll jump to like the Iconics theme, and then I'm playing a lot of garbage, like Number One Crush and Not Your Type of People, or Not Your Kind of People.
Yeah.
I listened to that album enough that I should know the name. Whatever like music is in Metal Gear Solid 5, I'll just bump that. So, a lot of Silent Hill music too. I don't know when I like found that groove. Silent Hill rock and roll. Like you can find these playlists. I think it's Mary Elizabeth something.
I
Very haunting and melodic and romantic singing and music that comes out of those games. Go figure.
Yeah. I mean, which is interesting because I like what I would think like their soundtracks would be all like 3 hour like ambient, like
That's in there too. And that's great for me. That fits. But that's in there too. Yeah. They'll have just like sometimes it's just like clunking industrial noises on the record. You don't have to love every track.
Yeah. That was like the thing with Doom, the new one, the like the HD one, spacing out the Bethesda
Heavy
put
metal.
out. Yeah, but like there would be those like 7-minute like ambient with keyboards just like in the back, and then you'd get like this 9-string drop tuned like heavy metal riff coming out of like nowhere. So I feel that they run the gambit, but it's cool. It's all cool stuff.
Variety is the spice of life. I'm one of those boring people who's like, oh, I like all music.
Yeah, but it's true.
But I do. I really do. Let's put some Britney on, and then let's jump to some Slayer, and then let's throw on some DJ Quick, and then let's come back to like some Nancy Sinatra, and we'll throw on Bubba Sparks. We'll just keep going.
I always loved stuff like that, and I think that's I think a lot of people, it's good to hear that, because some people feel like it's like, you need to like pigeonhole yourself and only like, get into one sound or whatever. But like, it's just do what you want, man.
Yeah.
That's
I
all,
think a
really
lot of
awesome.
people in music, and especially like punk scenes, and I could be mistaken. Correct me. Feel free to email me. Um,
Or
at,
me, I'll take it and then I'll say that she responded, but I won't.
yeah. I'm linked to the future online if you want to send me a nasty message. And I think that a lot of people who go into these musical genres, it's not just about the music reaching them, it's about the scene. It's the first time they might feel accepted. You go to a punk show and you're like, oh, it's all love here. Like, I want to be this. And while that's great, um, I think that's when they then are like, no, I don't go to those shows because I didn't find that love there. But you can keep trying. There's other shows, there's love everywhere. Um,
Yeah,
I don't fault that. Find your home and stay in it. Like, it's safe there. Why not? But look out the window and see what else is going on.
totally.
Yeah.
I love doing that with people, like even with the playlists that I usually play. Like, I mean, if I could sneak in like a band that never like, I mean, I don't know how massive my audience reach is, but if I could ever sneak in like a band that like nobody's heard of, or like there was one about a while back called the Paper Tongues that like just never broke. They like fell off their record deal and didn't go nowhere.
Sure.
Like just getting to get people exposed to different things. Like I feel like people usually respond pretty well.
Yeah. Even if it's something you don't like, it just like furthers why the things you do like are there. And that's still helpful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
New experiences, positive, good.
Do them.
Do
Do
them,
them.
be them, live them, share them.
Yeah, go to an indie wrestling show once it's safe.
I
I
think,
try to
yeah,
tell people like it's so different and it's so awesome.
it's a shame that people have this perspective that pro wrestling is only what they see on TV. And it's nice that what they see on TV is expanding, like give credit where it's due, but there's still a whole other world. And even if you don't like indie wrestling, go find something you do like. I'm kind of like jumping to the end. This is usually how I end every interview I do, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in.
Yeah,
Okay,
whatever you want.
wrestling show. Hate what I do. Go find a stand-up poet or comic or musician or someone who's doing some type of art locally at like your, at the coffee shop or at the bar, and go support them. Buy a shirt, like them online because it means so much. And this is where the things you love from the mainstream come from. They all start somewhere. And if they don't, then you're just going to get like studio created stuff, which only takes so far. It only goes so far.
Right.
So, yeah, go out and help somebody who's doing art. It's scary and they want your love so they can do it better and more.
Yeah.
Share it. Tell them you
Totally. But I think that's
love
one of the cool things. Like, it was like a side effect, and this is just my theory, but this was like a side effect of AEW coming around, was that a lot of fans that you didn't look past TV are starting to do that, because now, like, you know, there's more of, instead of it just being this like homogenized thing, now it's more like, okay, who are these people? Where do they come from? Okay, where, and like I think, I could be wrong, but I think people are starting to like backtrack to the indie scene a little bit more. I think.
I think it's definitely just kind of opened the viewpoint that there's a lot more than what WWE had to offer because they have their performance center and the wrestlers come from there and they kind of make it look like that's the only possible route to go. And maybe in their eyes that will be the future where they just have a farm system in Florida and in England and then they put one in Japan and that's the only place the wrestling comes from. I'm
I
sure
think that was their goal for a
why
while.
not? If that's what they want, let them try. But there's always going to be someone like me or a Pineapple Pete or Nyla Rose. They're going to, like a rose, grow through the cracks. And people are going to be drawn to that because it's much more of an organic feel. And people like to see things, people love to see an underdog story
Yeah.
because it's them to do something that they think is scary. We all have something that we think is scary that we haven't done yet. Or if we haven't, go out and find it. But I think AEW really helps with that. I give them a lot of credit for that. Good for them, and thank you to them for giving friends of mine, Matt Nix and Pineapple Pete and Peter Avalon and Leva Bates these are all, even the young bucks are people that I saw in the indie scene. And like, we were
Yeah.
talking things. Not a lot.
Sunny Kiss, I saw like a month before she was on TV with them, was at an indie show at a Knights of Columbus building in New Jersey, up by me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like I've shared locker rooms with a lot of these people, and they're my friends. And like, I think it's amazing that they're getting this national exposure. And there's some things I want to be like, oh, librarian this or body bag that, because I might feel personally attacked at Hoodslam, because these things have origins other places. But who gives who gives a hoot? What they're doing, we're all better, and I support that. And like, you got to crack some eggs to make the omelet, I guess.
I was doing backflips, not literally, but I was marking all the way out when Nyla got the not only got the title shot and then won the title as
Yeah,
first women's champ of AEW. Like that blew my mind. And I mean, obviously I have a personal stake in that, but
absolutely. Representation matters. It really means so much. It brings so much happiness to people like, I'll say myself as a trans woman, to see another trans woman succeed. And they're who they are does not interfere with what they bring. And that means everything. They can be measured by their talent and not by, um, how people see them.
and honestly, like I felt the same way watching you wrestle, as a trans woman myself, like watching you just come out. And the first match I saw you in was the one where somebody no showed, and it was you and Lady K. um and just watching you come out and like the crowd just pop like crazy, and then you do your thing, like that hit the same nerve for me, because just seeing you succeed like that, and it was just awesome for me as a trans person to be like, wait a minute, we can do that. Like we can
Yeah,
absolutely do that.
it blew me away as well. I had some reservations about coming out because I had been wrestling since 2000, and I've been a character and I had a look, and I was very much deviating from what I was. And while I don't think that's the issue, I was afraid that people would not accept me for how I am, that I would have to go away for a while. And I love to say that I took that chance, and that I had enough faith in people to give them the chance to prove me wrong, and they did. And I'm forever grateful for that. And like, this is the happiest, maybe not like right now with what's going on, and I can't wrestle,
Yeah.
but the last year or two where I've been out and I've been myself is the best time I've ever had in wrestling. And I think the fans also, just people can connect with me more because I'm more me, and that means a lot. I'm really happy with it. I wish I'd done it, 20 years ago, but I don't know if I was ready for it.
I feel I mean, again, like I don't want to harp on it too much, because I feel like people have grilled you in every possible way about gender stuff with wrestling. And but I'm curious, as another trans person who's working in a public situation, like Hoodslam keeps all their stuff up on YouTube from like even the Juice Lee match we were talking about was before you came out and started transitioning. How does it feel like looking back on that stuff, and you know what goes through your head when you see like that era?
It's hard. I mean, mostly I'm like, oh, like my nipples are out. Now it's like really something I'm like, I don't want that. But before,
That I've never done on air.
yeah, I've got, a whole 20 years of wrestling without a shirt on. And that's or like, 15 years, whatever it might be. And that's a little bit jarring. I had just such a different appearance. And a lot of times I can see the the discontent within me showing. And so a lot of my wrestling personality then, especially because I perform on my own show that I produce. So when I'm looking back at stuff like when I wore a robot mask for 2.5 years, I'm able to like now be like, I wonder if I was going through a thing then. And I was kind of putting it out.
Right.
That and but for the most part, I don't look at it. And some of that sucks because I love some of those matches. There was people that were really important to me, and some of them were goodbye matches, and some of those people I had matches with are dead now, and I love them, and I can't, that's rough. That's something. But those matches still exist, and they were still important to me, and they're not coming down. But yeah, like this is my 20-year anniversary of pro wrestling, and normally you think you thank you very much, by the way, throwing that up. I saw it. Um, normally, I think other wrestlers be like, here's my like first match, and here's me at 10 years, and here's me at 20 years, and they show this timeline, and like I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So
no, I get that. Like I remember when we did when Joan Jett came through our station, we did that interview, and I'm like, I was the one doing it, and then I'm like, yo, what up? This is Dead Name, and I'm like, now do I want to show that to people? Like this is somebody else. Like it's a weird feeling, and it's not always a good feeling because you don't like you said, you're not gonna get that chance again.
Right.
So
I mean, I think that person, I mean, it's still me. I don't feel like I was a different person or that I was a person deceiving. It's just a person that's
not at all.
Yeah. That was something I was afraid of, that people would assume that they never knew me, and the whole time they knew me before, it was a deception, and that I was lying to them, and this really like got in my head.
Or it's something about how you want to be treated, like it's like a factor outside about their relationship or something. I've had people do that. Like I don't get that.
People that you're friends with for years are like, oh, maybe I never really knew them, and that it hurt you. For the most part, that did not happen. Almost 99% that wasn't there, or at least I didn't see it. So God bless him, because that that fear I had was unfounded. But when you watch that old stuff, I try and remember that it's a person in growth. It's not someone else. But it's hard to, people meet me only after, and then they go back and they see those things. It's really shocking to them because I look so different. That's tough, but it's still me, and it's not a different me. It's just the outward shell. And yeah, the inner person is much more at peace now. Who I am is just so much happier and drinks so much less. It makes such
good.
So less destructive, and I'm not like hurting myself. It's great. Anyway, that was kind of like an all over the place answer, but
no, I mean, this like talking about gender stuff, like it's an all over the place thing. Like it's not, I feel like sometimes, when people talk about it and when we get asked about it, people expect like a linear answer. Like they don't, it's not a linear thing, it's not like, it's not even a journey from like A to B. It's like a journey from A to B, but you can't see B, and the track is all twisted, and you have to stop at 1,000 points along the way, and you're blind. Like that's it's, I don't know. I don't want to like co-opt your interview, but like, I feel like it's people like, people like they, especially any type of anything close to like public interaction, like they expect an answer. Like it's like you have, like it's a linear, like you're fully formed and done. Like, dude, like it's not an easy thing, and it's not a linear thing, and it's so like you said, like that answer was all over the place. Like that's totally fine because the question is all over the place because the subject is all over the place.
For anyone wondering, though, I'll just say that it's just someone trying to be happy is the simplest way I can put it, and that it just needed to be. It wasn't, I couldn't wait any longer. I probably wouldn't be here now.
Exactly.
Yeah, I had to make a decision about whether I wanted to let fear lead me or let love lead me. Did I want to live and soon die in fear, or was I willing to take a risk and hope that that love prevailed? Is the way I'll word it. So,
and yeah, just I'm really glad for you, period, that you did, and also that we get to see, it's kind of selfish, but that we get to see you pop off in the ring and do, basically just show people that it can be done just by your existence. I think
absolutely.
It's amazing.
And I'm not the first either, but I think I'm the first that had such a huge back catalog. There's a lot of wrestlers that fall into the same category, but most of them did not wrestle before they transitioned. Um, I think that's what was scary to me. I hadn't seen that before. I knew that there was love out there and that there was even like maybe a small family waiting for me. But yeah, you got to let go of the past sometimes and move forward. You can still appreciate it and admire it, but you can't let the past dictate your future.
Yeah, man. It's one of the things I love about the indie scene too is how like there is a lot of queer wrestling movement right now, which is word I can't say awesome. Like it's seeing people like Nyla, like Sunny Kiss, and like even promotions like Rise pop it off and Hoodslam pop it off. Like it's I don't know, it feels good, especially because I don't know. Did you ever encounter that like that old vibe of wrestling where it was like
Yeah.
very butch and macho and like
Oh yeah. I trained in the Bay Area, but I still heard like every slur through training, and it's terrible. But it's a changing time. People not necessarily they had hate in their heart. Maybe they did, but it just was an ignorance that people have thankfully become more aware of and more um, thoughtful about how they phrase things. Because I think there's just such an othering in wrestling. Because I'm also Persian, and it's really easy to other someone else, especially in pro wrestling when it was a predominantly white male thing, cis white male, and that's cool. But it's like also really cool that it's a lot of other people too now, and some of it is that people are braver, and some of it is just that the industry has changed, and representation matters. And some of these goons out there have even just realized that it's good for business to not treat every minority and woman and queer person like trash. It's good business because then you get
yeah,
your show and minorities to come to your show and queer people to come to your show.
and buy tickets and buy merch. Like
Hey, like their money's green too. Our money, I should say, because I am
yeah,
all of those things. Um, my money's good too. So, and if I go to your show and like I went to some stand-up comedy thing and it's just like transphobia, like just running through the whole show, I'm not gonna come back. I'll never go to that comedy show again. So, an example of how business works. Even if
right.
even if you want to be a jerk, like put on a smile so you can make a buck. Like I'll take that because that's profit.
Facts.
And deal with it and profit from it.
Right, like even on the most like cynical level, like it makes sense to have more people buying your product than not buying your product.
You can't, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it think.
Oh, I like that. I never heard that one.
It's from a movie. I definitely
did. Okay. That's I want that that's like a plaque quote. Like that's good.
Gosh, I'm really happy I'm not telling you where it's from because you're like, this is dumb. But
yeah, no, you can take credit for it.
I came up with that.
100%.
Yeah. I invented standing at wrestling shows too.
Oh. I didn't know that.
Yeah, everyone else used chairs. I invented standing.
Oh.
Or taking credit for things.
Yeah. You also invented getting on the top rope, taking leafs and then going into the air like LeBron at the beginning of games.
I actually might have. I think that I can't say for sure, but I definitely have done it more than a lot of other people.
That's one of my favorite things about the Lady K match too, is that she was watching that happen and she was like, I gotta get in on this. She had to
I wonder some of my opponents who were like watching me partake in this party before this match. Like, so I think I turned to her now. I was like, oh, this is going to be a thing now because I'm a different mindset than I was 5 minutes ago. Like, I was out here all business and now I'm like in a party and now we're going to lock up. So
right. You're about to get DDT'd.
She beat the crap out of me. Lovely, lovely woman.
She did. She did. That was my only thing. I was like watching. I was watching it on YouTube, and then she pinned you. Come on.
What's interesting about it, and I'll just break a little kayfabe, is that.
Oh no! Don't do that.
Something that I see a lot
You
is
could do that.
that
You're fine.
Lady K was really nice. She's like, should I cheat? Like maybe I like do this or that. And I was like, no, you can just beat me. Like you're really good at this. And you've been to like every company in the world. And like I know that like people always think like wins and losses matter. I was like, you can just be better today. Like I'll be better next time, maybe. We'll see. Maybe I won't. But sometimes people are just better than the other wrestler. And I think sometimes wrestlers forget that. Like people have off days or they have good days and bad days, or sometimes people just have better strategy. Every wrestling match I see, like they had to be surprised or they had to be like cheated. It's like, no, just sometimes someone loses. Like that's fine.
Right. Or like
Yeah.
the heel has to like win with like a wrench or something.
Right.
Like,
And something I've seen a lot with female performers against like doing intergender matches, or even sometimes against me, is they're like, okay, so like I have to do um, a low blow. And I'm like, nope, just cut that out. We're not doing that. Like let's just fight. Because I think they've wrestled so many people that are like, nope, I'm not losing to you unless like you do this unsavory tactic.
right. Like you establish that you're the bad guy.
Yeah, whatever it might be. I don't know. But I'd like to see more like Lady K.
Yeah. She's dope. She still has the title in Hoodslam, doesn't she?
He is the Glampion, the champion of Guilty Lethal Action Mayhem Glam. And she's doing amazing with it. The belt's so shiny. It's it belongs with her.
It is very shiny.
She did beat me to win it, so actually we are seeing an ongoing story of her just being better than me. Maybe.
There's a little this I'm gonna I've this has always wondered it, and I just made up a sentence. I just said this has always wondered it.
I
Can I
got
try
it.
that again?
Good. Give it a shot.
This is something I always wondered because the last time I had Leaf, um, I was convinced that I had lost my posterior end and spent the rest of the day trying to figure out how I would break that news to the person whose house it was. So I don't have the best relationship with Leaf.
Sure.
Um, when you're wrestling and that happens, does it, how's it different in the ring? Like, how do you feel any difference in, your performance, or is it just something you're used to?
There's definitely like a level you don't want to, like a line you don't want to cross, because then like my arms and legs just don't want to move and I'm tired. But I don't really reach that point very easily. I've been in California, for 20 years or 21 years, and in high school was really when my relationship began with self-medication. And I started training around being 14 years old too. And I noticed that when I started um, medicating before training, that sometimes my sessions would go better. I just was able to leave things at the door and just focus more primarily on my task at hand. And my shoulders kind of dropped, and just everything felt like it could flow more. And there was even maybe a time where I felt like it's something I needed to do before performing, or else I would be white knuckle tension, um, which was maybe my default setting growing up. It's something now I can take it or leave it. Usually at Hoodslam, I take it because people are handing it to me and I don't want to be rude. And sometimes people hand me drinks and I really give it an eye, or maybe I like dummy take a sip because I don't trust them and I hand it back to them.
Right.
I
That was the only
have,
thing I'd be
you
worried
know,
about is
just,
like, I
yeah,
don't trust like
I
that.
have pulled that. Because I've seen some creeps come up with a drink and they're looking at me. I've got this discontent in their eyes, and I just dummy sip it and I give it back to them. Uh,
Yeah.
but it's for me, and I'll just like toot my horn a little. Wrestling is something that's so ingrained in me, and I've done for so long that while I do fear for like ring rust that comes from this time off, it's a natural thing for me. And I'm ashamed to say, but we were talking about before, and I had like troubled times. I performed blackout drunk, and people did not notice because it's just ingrained in my muscle memory. And I hope I never ever do it again. And I don't recommend it, but I was still like leading the matches even. So at this point, it's I use this phrase more like to glorify myself a little, but watch how like a bird flies and a fish swims. Sam wrestles. It's just part of who I am and what I do. And I truly believe it's, if you believe in destiny and like God put me on this blue spaceship Earth to do a thing, it's because it was to wrestle. That's what I do.
And if I might offer my professional opinion, you do it quite well.
Thank you. I'd hope so by now, If I was still that, oof, that'd be a shame.
I mean, listen, there's some people, I don't gotta name names, but they're out there.
Oh, I've wrestled them. I know them. I've met them. I've wrestled. If it brings them joy still, God, I support them in that sense. Just don't wrestle me again.
I'll be in the crowd with like the thumbs up, like. Eh.
I can tell as soon as they walk through the ropes, and they go to the corner and they do that. Woo! They put their hands up.
Yeah.
If they've done that, I can tell if I'm gonna like this or not because I've just
really.
So yeah. I've watched wrestlers and wrestling, since I was like 5 or 6, and I've seen it from the ring countless, a few thousand times, let's say. So like, yeah, I can tell by the time somebody steps through the ropes and stands in the corner and puts their hands up and then they walk back down, I can pretty much tell you everything I need to know about them.
That's wild.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but I know it when I see it.
It's it.
You've got it or you don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can learn it or you can I think it's inside of everyone, but there's just like a fog you have to like go through to get there.
Yeah.
Just natural born entertainers. I needed a few years to just to calm down and let it come naturally.
Your intro's killer when you jump in, flip, land on the other side, dead center. How long did that take for you to like arrive at that?
I just did it on accident one day. And then I kept doing it. Someone told me it looked cool. Like I was wearing a robe and a headdress because I was doing the old Sheik gear.
Yeah.
The headdress started to like fall off as I was jumping in the ring. So like mid jump, I just threw it off and I did the roll because I was kind of like off balance then. As I did the roll, I accidentally stepped on my robe. So like outside of the ring, I'm wearing this full headdress and my face is covered. I'm wearing a robe. And
the old Sheik get up.
Yeah, and I do this roll, and by the time I'm standing in the ring, half a second later, like I'm completely, not completely because I still have my pants on, like undressed and revealed. And people were like, "Oh, that was amazing! Like how you went from like in your entrance gear to out of it as you rolled into the ring." And I was like, "Yeah, totally, thanks." I've been working on it, but it was like an accident, and I just stuck with it.
So. That's awesome, though. That's such a great door kick in for a match, like. This is a cool way to start it.
Now I don't wear as much stuff to the ring, but yeah, just hop in, do the roll, hit my little Just Incredible pose on the ropes, climb the ladder, get a little bit higher, as I call it. That's how you go up the rungs. And I usually like to throw out the gig, too. For those that don't know, gigging in pro wrestling, you saw the wrestler where he used a razor blade that's hidden within tape or maybe the referee's holding it, just kayfabe's out the window today. And they use it to draw blood. There's also wrestlers that do it the hard way, as it's called. So I just do a big fake gig, as I've been.
And then the wipe.
I gotta throw it away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dramatic.
Yeah. No, kayfabe is on vacation for Stomp and Stroll. She doesn't listen. And if anybody says anything, just blame me.
Don't blame me or don't blame you. Blame Mickey Rourke and Darren Aronofsky because they showed you how to do it back when The Wrestler came out, or you could even go back to like NBC's Secrets of Pro Wrestling.
When Vince decided he needed to tell people that they were entertainers and not athletes?
There's that too, or the Tough Enough where Triple H punches a guy 4 times in the face. He's like, "Did you feel anything?" And the guy's like, "No." He's like, "Cool, do it to me now." He's like, "Great. We just punched each other in the face 10 times and nothing happened." Wrestling. That's the first Tough Enough. So you know what? That was 97. I feel okay.
Yeah. That I didn't expect Mickey Rourke to get brought up in the interview. But it's true. That's like, they aired all that out at that point.
He just keeps coming up naturally. What can I, in my life? I have some qualms with that film, by the way, even though you didn't ask me. I think it's like upsetting that there's only one character that has a happy ending, and the best he could do is like have a used car lot. And it's awesome that it's Ernest the Cat Miller, but it's weird that he's playing an Ayatollah, a Persian character. Anyway, just my quick take. Not all of us are drug addicts that avoid our family and live in a trailer. Some of us are, and some of us have really nice trailers. But it painted such a negative picture of pro wrestling that.
Yeah, it was one of those things. Like, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, I just wanted to say it while I had this moment to air my grievance.
I feel like it's the same thing like Whiplash is to musicians. Like, it's the setting is so secondary. It's just they want to tell this specific story about like one guy, and like whatever the setting happens to be, whether it's like wrestling music or whatever, that's all like goes out the window. Like, it's just we want to focus on this guy who went through this horrible thing. Whatever happens to the setting and the scene it represents happens. Screw it,
Yeah. Well, and maybe I should like review it before I make this take, but one of them is called Whiplash, which is like, about the feeling this person went through. And one of them is called The Wrestler. Like, oh, I guess that's what they're like, That's take, but
yeah.
It's
also weird. It was weird to me in seeing like, that people think that like, music school is getting a drum thrown at you and getting derated by your professor, but that's a whole nother story for a different day.
That's just a bad teacher.
Who was in Spider-Man. So I can't unsee that.
Which Spider-Man?
The old one. The guy who plays the teacher plays J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh, well, he's awesome.
Yeah.
He's in the new ones now. I'm really happy they brought him back.
He's fun. He's in like 3 cop shows. Like, that guy just does not stop. I think he's in a DC movie too.
No, get it where you can.
100.
Spider-Man.
So I guess this is kind of the last question because we're running low on time. Once Juice Lee is handled,
yeah,
or I guess there's 2 questions. Once Juice Lee is handled, who do you want to see next as your opponent? And until then, what you got going on that people could, if they wanted to, take a look at? Because I can't tell them to.
Absolutely. Juice Lee might be hopefully my next opponent and possibly my last, which is something I go back and forth with a lot, but this has been 20 years and, my body needs this and that. And also it's just such a good bookend, maybe I'm being a romantic with that, but the story would be complete. And to add more, maybe people would like it, maybe I'd enjoy it, but does it tell the best story? I'm not sure. But maybe, I do love wrestling, so I'll probably keep doing it. It's something I go back and forth with a lot. That might be just the end. Until then, though, I'm going to keep doing stuff for our YouTube and Twitch channel, and I'm going to keep more for me than it is for like anyone else to, watch. I love it that they do, but I have this desire to create and put stories out and put the story that's inside of me. Maybe just because of so many years, it's been my process, but I need to put it out in the world for me to really look at it sometimes. I'm going to keep doing that, hopefully through videos. Maybe I'll write. I feel like I'm going to start painting. I'm not sure, but I'm around. Keep your eyes open. You'll see me. I don't think I'm going to go away. I think I'm just going to become a brighter and brighter star against this night sky. So thanks. If you don't like it, that's cool too. Like I said, just go find someone you do like and support them.
Maybe find a different radio show while you're at it, because we support Dark Sheik in this house.
Oh, thanks. There's room for everything, but I appreciate that.
We're
show they can kick rocks, put an egg in their shoe, and beat it, tree and leaf, and then handle so I can handle it.
100%. We're coming up on the top of the hour on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. This has been Stomp Stroll Radio. I will see you next Tuesday for the morning buzz. And Dark Sheik, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you. Thanks for anyone that paid attention. Thanks for the people that worked on this and made it happen. I love you.
Cool. If you want to hang out if you want to hang out for a second after we roll over, that'd be cool. But for today, we are Audi 5000. See you guys Tuesday, and I'll see you next Thursday for Stomp and Stroll. Ding.
The ocean or a car?
Houston, the Hawk
Spaceship.
has landed.
Nice. We're off the air. Thank you, Adam. Um, fuck yeah, that was fun.
Thank you. That was fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I hope I didn't go like too like personal with any of the stuff about like gender or whatever.
Get it, Ange.
I mean, you can only ask questions. We only go as personal as I allow it. So no fault.
Yeah.
I didn't feel any pressure to go anywhere I didn't want to. But thank you for saying.
Good. And thank you so much for coming by. This was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I hope I did well. It was a lot of feelings that sometimes I'm trying to word them for the first time. So I hope it went well.
What you absolutely that was spot on. And from one trans girl to another. Fuck yeah. That was awesome.
Thank you. This is the first time
It's 3:59.
I've been interviewed by a trans woman and knew it. It happened once before, but I think it was like over the internet and I didn't really know. Yeah, this was amazing. I love that because it's just like a base understanding that.
Yeah.
You were listening to 9.3.
Would it be cool if I put this on like the station's YouTube later? Is that all right?
Yeah, I did my face by 11 for a reason. So
God bless. It's 3 p.m. right now. I don't know anything about that.
I tried to do it the other day, like I said, and I was just like, oh, this is a different lighting on this Zoom chat in this room. So today it went well for me.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I really enjoyed it. And like, I don't, if I've ever done college, like I said, college radio across the country, like, it's just amazing, that my life has gotten to here is really just like charming and inspiring, fulfilling. There's so many nice feelings it brings me. So thank you.
Good. I mean, I get a lot of the same stuff when I, see you doing your thing. Like, that, we could do that stuff and kick ass at it.
Yeah.
And listen, anytime you if you had anything you wanted to promote or come by or just talk, or if you're ever out east once this shit storm clears up, we always got time for you.
That'd be great. I've went to New Jersey once. I hope to go back again. It was a lot more pleasant than I expected or like had been led to believe.
We have a knack for that.
Yeah.
It's not all New York's downdraft. We have a couple things going of our own.
Yeah, it was, you expect what you meet, like this rapid fire New York, just nonstop talking, yo bro, all that stuff. Like
there's a little bit of that. That's there. It's there.
Okay. That's fine. That's cool. It's here too. Just I feel like I was drowning in it when I was in New York. And I got to Jersey.
Oh yeah.
Oh cool.
Oh, yeah.
Like lightened up. Like sweet. Cool.
Yeah. And just there's a lot of cool stuff in Jersey.
Yeah. There's a lot of bad stuff in California too, just like
Oh, us here. Yeah. It's like the news thing list. I do the news thing Tuesday mornings here, and we were talking about like maybe running a story on some of those people that are protesting in New Jersey. I'm like, no, we can't do that. I can't.
What are you protesting? Like if you don't like how this is being handled, like don't go to your local officials who are trying to put out a fire. Go talk to the person that started the fire.
Actual truth.
Yeah. Ooh, I think a package has just arrived. Should I help? Do you have it? Never mind, I'm good.
I think we're pretty tied up here. This was awesome though. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I hope it was, what you hoped for. Hi again. Hey, welcome
All
back.
that
Hi.
Lord.
All right, we were
Lord
just dealing
knows.
on the back end with shows. We have a lot of recorded shows because of the environment we're in. And
Yeah.
one of the shows did not have the metadata, even though I personally enter it. So that was good. That was a great conversation. We'll get this will replay, and as soon as we bounce off, we'll be able to pull the audio. This will replay on Saturday at 10 a.m. So if you guys want to re-promote it, it's going to be obviously a replay of today's show, but it'll air on Saturday at 10.
That's what, like 7 a.m. by you?
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know nothing about being up at 7 a.m. anymore.
I'll tell you, it's not any better than it used to be.
It hasn't changed? Okay.
Yep.
Same old 7.
Definitely
It's
not.
nice. There's birds and stuff.
Birds.
Birds are good. Birds are good.
Can I ask, what's this gold record behind you? I'm pointing at it with my mouse. You can't see. What's this gold record?
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
I don't get to see those a lot. It's really, whoa. You were in the Beatles?
No, I worked at SiriusXM, so as part of the channel that we put together, they sent gold records to everyone, but personalizing the plaques was, I guess, more costly, so we all got the SiriusXM. I have a couple of ones in my office that are actually personalized, so I appreciate it that they spend it a little bit more money just to have my name on it.
I mean, that one's, I saw it from here. It's very eye-catching and lovely,
Oh, thank you. Yeah. We have some Rush over there. My husband owns a record label, and he's working over there.
Hey there. Look at that.
I had my headphones on, but he has a metal label, and so he has a couple of his posters. There's a guitar signed by a bunch of people next to him. It's fun.
Gosh, the room you're in, I think, is much nicer. There's so much cool stuff in it. And people.
Oh, it's our basement office. So oftentimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to my dungeon to do live radio. I feel like, Wayne Campbell, Wayne's World.
I have a nice
Yeah.
setup here where like my partner does work, and then there's just like piles of my stuff over there.
Yeah, he's going to take my cat to the vet.
And there's a cat. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we have 2 cats. Come here, Indy. Indy, come here, say hi.
Yeah.
Indy. This one is not the one that's going to the vet. This is the one that is, okay. What are you looking for, cheese? You're looking for cheese.
You're looking for
really?
cheese. Is it a cheese cat?
It's a cheese cat. Oh.
Baby, do you want to see the kitty? Do you want to come here and see it? I think it's okay. We're big cat fans.
No, yeah, okay. You don't want to say hi? Come here. Do you want cheese? You want cheese? Say hi, Indy.
We have some cheese.
Oh.
Whoa. Oh, they have, what are their eyes? Is it blue? Or is it the
No, they're green, but they get really big and dark. You're gonna go? Okay.
Oh, bye.
Bye, kitty.
So I'm now full of hair. So her sister is going to the vet. She unfortunately cancer, and we operated in January, but it came back. So we're taking her back. Poor thing.
Best of luck. Best wishes for speedy recovery.
Thank you. So so this is where we are, and hopefully one day soon we'll be back in the studio, right? We miss the studio. Although what's cool is we get to see you. If you were in the studio, you probably call in. So it's a phoner, and there's like no emotion on this thing, right? Like you can't read the person's face. You can't phone, So I enjoy this about the quarantine shows. Perhaps it's a little bit, complicated getting stuff on air when we record, but it's worth it.
Yeah, I just hate, I don't talk on my phone. It's not what I use my phone for. Like the fact that, so doing this for 40 minutes is just, I hate it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the only thing is I often, when I know I'm being filmed, I'll talk with my hands more. Maybe I won't. I'll be like, and it's like, wait,
yeah.
Wishy-washy. I have to use the word. I can't just.
No, I get it. Then you get a little more self-conscious. My daughter does theater, and good luck. She was like, she loves being on stage and in front of 500 people. She has no problem. But then she had to sing to Zoom the other day, and she was like freaking out. She's like, I'm on camera, and she could see. I was like, It's okay. So it's fine. Don't look at yourself. Here, give me your glasses so you don't see any.
Oh, it's so hard not to. I try that.
Yeah.
Too. And every time I see myself, I'm like.
Right.
I
Or
know.
fidgeting endlessly. I feel that.
Yeah. It's tough, especially when you're not set up in an environment where you have the right lights, right? So it's like, ugh, whatever. So actually, there was a whole thread on faculty advisors for radio stations and professors who were like, how do I look good on Zoom? And the suggestions were really, really funny. I was like, I'll try. I'm going to show up on Zoom on my class if I have to do it online, and I'm going to have a mask. There's a bunch of programs that you can put some sort of mask on top of you, like a emoji mask, and it moves with you. Cool. So, but yeah. So, all right. So this will re-air again on Saturday at 10. If you want to let people know We're gonna put it on SoundCloud, and then if you're cool with the video, we probably cut that and then get it to YouTube.
Sure, please do. I'm fine with it. And I get
Okay,
to share a good Slam shirt.
there you have the
Nice.
rep. Excellent. Well, thank you so much, and
Thank you.
stay in touch. All right.
Yeah, I'd like to. Please do stay in touch. This was really fun for me and a great way to kind of start my day a little bit.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right. You guys
Take
take care. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.